All right, so the next part of this is, I mentioned before, I put a new basket on this motor, so I'm going to run you through basically everything that I've done and everything I'm going to do. I checked the torque on the motor bolts that are underneath the basket. When I tightened the basket down, I torqued those to 115 inch-pounds, and then I also added a little drop of CA on the side of the bolts. I checked the torque on the Neo pull cap. I glued down the spider spacer, which to do that, you scuff the bottom of that, scuff the landing on the basket itself, clean it with isopropyl alcohol, lay down some epoxy or CA glue, and kind of work it down in there. And then you're going to use these squeeze clamps like this and do it in every window. And clamp that down, let that glue set up and dry nice. And then if you feel on the inside of the spacer ring, on the bottom edge of it, there's a little bit of a lip between it and the rest of the basket. I'm going to take a rubber glove and kind of spread some epoxy or CA glue on that, kind of make that joint up a little bit. And then I didn't do a full river backfill on the edge of it. I just did a bead around the edge. That should be good. The spring terminals, very important that you put the red or positive on the left on both sides. Don't mix that up, you'll have a bad time. The next thing, you scuff the surround and the spider landing on the spacer. Scuff that with some 80 grit, clean it with isopropyl alcohol, and you're going to take an air compressor, blow everything out one last time, and make sure there's no junk in there. Next thing you're going to do is, this is my shim. It's overhead projector sheets. On the 3.3 voice coils, you really can't use printer paper like 8.5 by 11. It's not wide enough to go around, and you will have coil rock, and that will also be a bad time. So next thing you're going to do is take the drop in, you're going to work it down onto it and bottom it out. You can go ahead and push where the CA glue is around the former, and if you'll notice, you see where these tinsel leads are. If you glue this sucker down like this, you're going to have a bad time, unless you catch it before the adhesive cures. So you want to make sure that those tinsel leads are lined up with your spring terminals. And what I do is I take them off the side of the spoke on the basket and adjust it like so, and that kind of sets you up. So you still got to lift this out a little bit, because now we're ready for your epoxy or CA glue. The bottom, you can go ahead with the spider landing, go ahead and put your CA or epoxy, hard set epoxy down, and make a nice little bead on that. And then you can either use flexible epoxy or E6000 for the surround. And as you can see, I got the surround peeled up right now. You can go ahead and bolt down your tinsel leads now, or you can do it later. Right now is the easiest time because you're able to flip the surround up. Then get in there with an Allen wrench and tighten those down. One thing to note on tightening those tinsel leads down is they can strip out fairly easy. You don't need to be a Hulk on those. If you feel good about using Loctite on it, go ahead, but don't over tighten them because you're going to strip them, period. So once that's good, you got your epoxy and your E6000 or whatever laid down, you can go ahead and push down around the former and set that sucker into place. Push it down, and you can go ahead and put your clamps on your spider. If you have a rubber gasket, you can go ahead and put that on real quick, and then you can just take squeeze clamps like this. Some people use clothes pins, whatever you have. It's got to be clamped down. If you're like me in this case, I have the new metal gasket, so this actually bolts down. So what I'm going to do is, once I have the epoxy on there, I'm going to go ahead and just bolt this down, and I'm done. And then I'm going to let this cure for at least 24 hours before I play it, because I don't want to be an idiot and lift the spider or the surround out. So That's about it, other than the dust cap. So as you can see here, I accidentally stepped on this when it was in a bag on the floor. This one, you can see it's nice smooth. You don't want that. Don't do that. Grab some 80 grit sandpaper, scuff that up good, then it's ready to glue. So once this is all set, you can now pull your shim out. Do not pull this out until all this is set, 24 hours. You pull this out, that spider can walk a little bit, and you're going to have a bad time because that coil is going to be rubbing, more than likely. Anyways, once you have this scuffed, put your E6000 down on the cone, and you can go ahead and kind of set this on there in the middle and work it into place, and then put something heavy on there, like 10 pounds at least. You can put some painter's tape over this. I just recommend that you don't peel the painter's tape right off the roll and stick it on here, because you're going to lose a lot of this logo. So what I will do is take painter's tape, and I just take the stick away and just put it on my hand a few times, and then it's not so sticky on the bottom and it won't peel this off. Then you can put whatever you want on there and it won't scratch that up. But yeah, that's about it. If you need a recone, if you want one of these awesome Sundown Audio Lazy Susans, if you need a glue kit, if you need spring terminals, you can go to ampedupcaraudio.com, and you can use code DTP at checkout, and that will possibly give you a discount, but it will definitely help me out either way. So if you guys got any questions on this stuff, go ahead and drop them in the comments. If you're pissed off because I made a 7-minute video, that's too bad. See ya.